The weather is pretty perfect for getting your children out and about, down to the park, in the garden or whatever. But a survey today suggests that children are not getting enough daily exercise. Have a look at the figures. 28% of parents say their child gets 30 minutes or less of physical activity after school, while only 5% said their child gets more than 2 hours of exercise outside school. Almost half of parents admit that their child should get an hour or more of exercise in a day. Someone who believes very passionately about all of this, a mum herself, a mum of 3, the actress Kym-Marsh. Very good to see you, Kim.
Thank you.
What gets you about playtime with kids?
Well, you know, I just wanted to get involved and kind of help raise awareness, really, of how important it is to get our children to be physically active. I mean, you know, research shows that, you know, children are at their most active during playtimes than at any other time of the school day, including some PE lessons.
Yeah.
So actually getting involved with your child, encouraging them to play, you know, and be physically active, is kind of helping them to meet their minimum physical activity requirement.
But you know and I know that to many of them, play time is a bit passé now because computer games are the in thing. Sitting in front of a screen is the cool thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, gone are the days. I mean, when I was a kid, you know, I used to leave the house in the morning and I'd be out all day playing. That was it. You know, we'd be out playing with anything and everything, you know. And I think times have changed, and now, you know, kids do tend to just sit in front of the TV and all the rest of it. And, you know, I think we forget how simple it is to get our children involved in kind of, you know, fun physical activity.
Well, you discover this, you'll discover this twice over because your older kids, David and Emily, you know, how old are they now?
David will be 17 next month.
Yes, well, you'll not be
Emily's
playing
14.
with him too much in the garden, but you're going to do it all again with Polly.
I am, yeah.
So Polly's, what, a year old now?
She's 1 now, yeah.
She's a year old. So are you going to, is there anything you're going to do differently or that you think will be different in raising Polly than raising David and Emily?
Well, obviously, when David and Emily were Polly's age, I wasn't working. I wasn't a working mummy then, whereas now I am. So, you know, we do find it hard to spend time being, you know, physically active and playing with our children. But I'm going to make sure that I set aside time like I did with David and Emily. We used to play silly games together all the time, even hide and seek or, you know, things like that. So, you know, I used to play hopscotch when I was a kid.
Yes,
outside.
But who are you going to get to play hopscotch now? Draw chalk on the ground. There'll probably be some health and safety law that break now. They won't be allowed to do that. But the whole thing is there's benefits for them mentally, they reckon, with expending physical energy.
Oh, absolutely. There's benefits all around. I mean, it helps with a child's confidence, it helps them build their muscle, you know, tone, and helps with coordination, and also mentally active as well, helps with, you know, encourage their imagination.
Well, I tell you what, from one extreme to another, beside you is Mrs. Fit Family here, Jackie Beltrao. I mean, that woman, I mean, she'll be reported for child cruelty. Her children are always at various tournaments. You're a big believer, Jackie, in getting them to do sport.
No, I am. I really can't bear fat children. I think it's almost like cruelty to children. And I think, you know, when mine used to ask for Chris, I go, yeah, you can have a packet, 3 laps of that field behind the house. And I would just make them run round, then they could have their sweets or whatever. But I think it's really important that they have kind of a focus after school. They don't just end up in a kind of drifting around with 3 hours to play with before bedtime when they can just sit there on a computer. It's much better if they're out. I mean, mine play tennis a lot or do athletics. And, you know, I think 2 hours a night is fine.
But you invest in that heavily because, I mean, Kim was saying about her working. You work too. Your hours are at the top end of the day, but it's a big demand on you, isn't it?
It's a massive commitment if you want to make your children do activities, because you have to take them there, you've got to fetch them, you've probably got to sit and watch, you know, if they're playing football or something where they could hurt themselves. It's a massive investment, but I think it's one that kind of pays off in the end, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, talking about work, recently in the press, you'll have seen Kim and you'll have seen lots of pictures of her being Pat Phoenix, the Coronation Street legend, which, you know, I look at you, I would never see Pat Phoenix. I look at the pictures and it's absolutely incredible. What is this all about? Well,
Coronation Street, the musical, is due to hit the arenas on the 9th of May. We open in Manchester, and I've been asked to take on the role of Elsa Tanner, so which is a massive honour for me. Although I don't know, I've got to put that into song.
Yes. Oh, well, you have no difficulty singing. We can highly recommend her singing attributes. Very good. Any game outside hopscotch that you'd recommend for kids as they head out to school today?
Do you know what? I think just hide and seek and that kind of thing. Tick.
Keep them moving, keep them going.
Yeah.
Do you know what the big new thing is? Which is not a big new thing, it's a big old thing. Skipping. They've all got back into skipping, even the boys, All the year 5s, apparently it's very dangerous in the playground. You can get whiplash.
As space hoppers.
We got a dog a year ago. Well, that's
good exercise.
If I'd have known the exercise that was going to be involved in that, that wouldn't have happened. Very, very good. Kim, lovely seeing you.
And you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. We are going to take a break there. Our next guest in the studio from Living McDonald's to defining what makes us British. It is Mr. Morgan Spurlock, and he's up next to talk about his latest adventure.